Hello there, everyone. I'm Logan Wilkins, and welcome to my opinions on Sanji versus Rockley, One Piece versus Naruto. Okay, now, I'll be going over several factors. First off, matchup, of what I think about it. Second off, analysis. And lastly, the fight in general. Well, just the general outcome is the last one. Okay, now, first off, what I think about the matchup. It had potential, I'll give it that. Like, I had different fights I wanted for both both Rockley and Sanji. I mean, this is one of those predicaments, like, I had. Like, I'll go over my opinion on different death battles, and my next one will actually be going more into this topic, but this is more of what I thought about Hawkeye versus All Might. There was several different opponents I wanted for both characters, and neither one I even thought about putting up against each other. Okay. So, but the matchup in general did have a potential. They just wasted that potential. How so? I'll get into it with the analysis as next. Okay, first off, starting off with Sanji's analysis. What did I think about it? It did decently for backstory. Like the backstory I loved. It got Sanji's backstory exact. And honestly it did well. Hell, it made me hyped for the rest of the analysis. But the rest of the analysis was just so much bad power scaling and like, first off, let's get on to how they was doing his reaction speed. It was bullshit. Sanji and Luffy have yet to actually have a fair fight where Luffy doesn't either hold back or just in general will show his actually try and dodge on Sanji's attacks. Like Luffy and Sanji have never actually fought with Luffy going all out. It's always base Luffy. Sure, that was the version that dodged lasers or light speed attack, but honestly, it just in general it pissed me off. Uh, off, off because Sanji and Luffy have never actually fought at all with Luffy actually trying, even in base form. next is next the defensive power scaling for Sanji. Complete bullshit because they used a non-canon feat. Like had it been like someone like Usopp or Luffy, yeah, I could forgive it. But Sanji of all people, I love Sanji so much, but if they're going to power scale him in defense, they should use the right one, like power scaling, and not just some feat from the movie. And honestly, them hand drawing a piece of a manga to try and make it seem like it's canon was actually kind of surprising to me. And like seriously, I even looked up if that was a canon feat because the manga drawing even had me confused. It was just to find out that it wasn't. But overall, oh, the thing that pissed me off the most was their scaling for was how they used the observation hockey. They gave Sanji the mastered observation hockey when he doesn't have the mastered observation hockey. How how does that work? Like there's literally he's never predicted the future. He dodged that bullet just because he had it get shot, not because he could see it from the future. Like that, it puts his speed at at a bullet level, his reaction speed at bullet level at least, but not nearly as fast as they say it is, or or as overpowered as they say his observation hockey is. Overall, I would give his analyzation a possibly 5 out of 10 because the backstory them going over it was really a lifesaver for it. but Rockley, I have to go hard on their analysis for Rockley. Rockley, I'm a Naruto fan, and personally, and honestly, it pissed me off on how much they would we use make. Sorry, I probably should have gone over this at the beginning of the video. Since this is my first video, you don't know much about me, but I'm an autistic teen that has a small speech impediment, so sometimes I'll mess up my grammar. Don't get on me for it or anything, it's just how I am. It doesn't help that I'm sick right now. But anyways, Sanji Rockley versus Sanji's Rockley analyzation. So basically, my opinion on Rockley's analyzation, again, captured the backstory well, but it wasn't enough to save it. They used canon feats for him at least, but they wasted them. For one, they mentioned Rockley's meteor feats, and completely throw out the window. Oh, for starters, he obliterated that meteor while in base form, I believe. I don't have a good memory of it. I just know that he did it in either gate 1 or base form. Meaning using 8th gate, it would have been meaning Rockley is probably stronger than his sensei guy, but I'll get onto that later on. So, basically though, my big problem with Rockley's analyzation is their scaling for his speed. Rockley is confirmed faster than Dai, who is fast enough to warp reality itself around him just by running. Like, this kind of shows that, like, this kind of proves that Rockley is at least he's 200,000 times faster than anything Sanji has actually done on speed wise, and at least he's a billion times faster than any reflexes Sanji has done. I'm still technically new to power scaling, so I can't really give a good accuracy on their speed feats each or anything like that. But I know Sanji is barely light speed if he's even close to light speed. As for Rockley, he's far past light speed. His predecessor, his sensei, my guy is hundreds of thousands of times faster than light speed due to simply warping it just by running. But and Rockley, like I said, is faster. Rockley is possibly the fastest Naruto character, and honestly, I love of him. He's a good character. Not love as in like gay, but love as in like I would probably he become his best friend if I met him. Like he's one of my favorite Naruto characters, and like I said, he has a bunch of, and like I said, he is he's one of the one of the fastest or the fastest exactly. Like most of the analysis was just complete bullshit to me. Bullshit to me because they just undermined them completely. Okay, but other than that though, I'd give his analysis about a 2 out of 10. And like honestly, it's just how they did it. They didn't do a good job. So now, the fight. Yeah, it was great, honestly, but Rockley barely even used any of his moves. Seriously, it was just, I I don't know. Rock, like Rockley, he, like they, Rockley's drunken fist was amazing in it, but it lasted longer than any of the Gates. Like seriously. Plus, you would expect after waking up from drunken fist, Rockley to just go in and fight Sanji normally, he in base form, but instead he goes into right to Gate 5. I think. Reason why I'm not directly going back to the video is because I hate this fight, hate the outcome. And and I'll go over why in a minute, but Rockley moving form to form isn't like him. He wouldn't do that. The gates aren't anything he toys with, and him going into 8th gate makes sense if he. But he, I'm gonna go over something real quick. He claims in the manga to have mastered all 8 gates, and fans question how he could have mastered the 8th gate. I'm going to throw in my little fan theory here. My theory on how he could master the 8th gate is that he only went into it for minutes at a time before turning back. He did this through basically just opening it up for short periods of time. So likely he has mastered it and is unable to be hit by it now. Oh, he will likely won't die if he uses it, and honestly, his disintegration in his death would have been bullshit. It's just that his body likely won't be harmed by it anymore, or it's just to that point where he won't die from it, or be injured. Like, at best, it will likely create muscle strain, but that's about it for Rock Lee. He's mastered it as he's claimed. But anyways, back to the whole reason why I hate this outcome. Sanji would be screwed. Like he can stand a small fight, right? Like if he like a base form fight, I can imagine him winning. And if it's like up to Gate 5, I think that's him and his I forgot the name. The name isn't coming off the top of my tongue, but the suit, whatever, can probably get up to Gate 5 before getting screwed over. My total opinion on the fight, though, it was good until Rockley's loss. Like, I loved it. And when Sanji's leg blew up, I thought he turned into just blood splatter. But as for what I totally think about the death battle in general, I hate it. I mean, I like the matchup. Don't get me wrong. I was surprised when they admitted that it would be that, but yeah, and the trailer for it got me and I was hyped throughout all of it. But it's just that I just didn't like how they executed it. Like it just shows those Death Battle had playing favorites at its best. As they don't oftentimes play a favorites with the characters outside of DC, but let's be honest, they played a lot of favorites with Sanji here. Yeah, wanking him, like this is why I call, like literally, it's just I can't even express at this point. Point, point. Like seriously, it's to the point where I just don't think that Death Battle will accept when they're wrong. And again, though, I also know Rooster Teeth runs Death Battle. Rooster Teeth, like, I love Rooster Teeth and all, but I've noticed that when they bought Death Battle, their outcomes got just worse and worse. It's like this entire season has been Death Battles I disagree with which I'll be going over them. I'm trying to get. I'm hoping that season 7 I mean, season 8, they break free of the whole Rooster Teeth deciding the outcome part bit because it's just annoying. But I just want different opponents for both because it's just unfair for Sanji. This, like, had I made a prediction video, like, I would have been better at explaining why Broccoli would probably win and why Sanji is likely to lose, but I just have mixed emotions about this fight. Like, it's obvious I hate the death battle itself, but the fight itself, I just have mixed emotions about it. but that's just my opinion. I'm not one of those toxic people who went in debates. I'm honestly just stating my mind here about the fight, like I'll be doing with all of them. I'll also make a fight that I also like. My next video will likely just be me going over a couple fights I want to see Death Battle do versus fights I don't want to see Death Battle do. But how you look at this fight though, it's always going to be a complete bullshit. Because there's so many toxic One Piece and Naruto fans. Like, sure, I just don't. I can't even display my anger at how Death Battle took this one. Like, obviously, and if it's not obvious from how I'm talking, I'm a huge anime fan, actually, and I love of One Piece and Naruto deeply. It's just that this fight, right, how they executed this, it was just not well. They didn't do it that well. But that's my opinion, and feel free to have your own. Also, you may notice that, like, I'm on my phone, and on my phone, I don't know how to turn this off. If I leave it alone long enough, my phone will turn off. Yeah, it's weird, and I don't know how to turn it off. But, turn off that setting, but you got my opinion on the fight, right? Right, and stuff. Like, some people may disagree with it. Some people might actually get what I'm talking about. Just, honestly. Anyway, so please be sure to like and subscribe. Amen. Follow. And, most YouTubers would ask you to follow them on Twitter or Instagram. Like, please follow me on the app known as Quora. Uh, um, it's available on the App Store. I mean, it's not sponsoring me, obviously, but I'm going to tell you a couple things about Quora while I'm here because I want you to, because it would be really nice if you followed me on it. Quora is a app that is Quora is an app that where you ask questions and people can answer them, or you can answer questions others have. Versus debates, general questions about life. There's a lot to Quora. It's a good app, and I would highly recommend you download it. And please be sure to follow me. My name is Logan Wilkins. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment, and tell me your opinions on the fight. Right. I'll leave a link to Quora for you, okay? Anyways, later.